Hey there! In today's video, we're going over the 2015-2016 TMSCA General Math Test number 1. Let's do it.
Alright, which inequality below matches the graph? Okay, so in inequality, there are two key parts. You have the circle, which is right here, and you have the line, which is this right here. So using these two components, we can figure out the inequality that matches the graph. First up, let's look at the line. So we have a line that starts at 7 and goes up from 7, or is greater than 7. So that means whatever x is has to be greater than 7, because this inequality, all it's saying is x is a value that can fit into this line. So x has to be greater than 7. So right off the bat, it's not this, it's not this, and it's not this. So it can only be A or C. The difference between A and C is that A is x is greater than or equal to 7, and C is x is greater than 7. So which one is the right one? Well, we figured that out using the circle. So this circle right here tells us the answer to that. So when the circle is open like this, that means it is just greater than, not greater than or equal to. It's not that. It's just greater than. If the circle was closed like this, then it would be greater than or equal to. So in this case, the circle is open, which means x is greater than 7. And that's your answer. Next, in terms of pi, what is the circumference of a circle with a radius of 17 inches? Alright, so the formula for circumference using the radius is just 2 times pi times r. So the r's are radius. And we know that we're looking for in terms of pi, so we don't really need this. So it's just 2 times radius. So that's 2 times 17, which is 34. And now we add back this pi because it's in terms of pi. So it's 34 pi, and that's your answer. Next, what are the new coordinates of the point 2, 7 by a translation of x, y to x minus 14, y minus 5? Alright, first thing we need to know is this 2, 7 means that x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 7. So when you do a translation, all you're doing is you're just applying x and y by substituting its value. So 2 is x, that means 2 minus 14, and y minus 5. So 7 is y, so it's 7 minus 5. And these two values become the new substitution for x and for y. So 2 minus 14 is just negative 12, so x is equal to negative 12, and y is equal to 7 minus 5. 7 minus 5 is 2, so y is equal to 2. Now we need to write this in a coordinate form, just like the original coordinates. So that's negative 12, comma, 2. And that's your answer. Next, negative 7 squared. Alright, this is actually very simple. So we just have to break this down. So negative 7 and squared. So which one do we first do? Do we do the negative or the square first? Well, according to the order of operations, you always do the exponents before the subtraction, which means we do 7 squared, which is 49, first, and then we do the negative, so we make it a negative number, and we end up with negative 49, and that's your answer. Next, what is the degree of the following polynomial? Alright, so we have 4x to the power of 3, y minus 6xy plus 8. Alright, so to find the degree of the following polynomial. So to find this, all we have to do is you have to take the number with the biggest exponent. So in this case, x power 3. So we take this 4x to the power 3 and y. So we take this number and we just add up all of the exponents. So x power 3 and y power 1. Because even though nothing is written there, when there's nothing written as the exponent, it's automatically 1. So now we just have to add up the exponent. So that's 3 plus 1, which is 4. And that's your answer. Next, if angle A is equal to 51.4 degrees, what is the supplement of angle A? Alright, so I actually have a full video on this, but that'll be in the pinned card at the top, but let's continue with this problem. Alright, so 51.4 degrees, that's the number we're given. So to find this supplement, we first need to know what that means. So two supplementary angles, or a supplementary angle, is just two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So to find the supplement of angle A, all we have to do is we have to do 180 minus 51.4, because that will tell us what is the other angle that adds with 51.4 to make 180. So 180 minus 51.4 equals 128.6 degrees, and that's your answer. Next, 546 equals what in Roman numerals? Alright, So I actually have a full video on this, which will be pinned in the card at the top, but let's continue with this problem. So 546. So to solve this, we first need to know what our Roman numerals are. So I is 1, V is 5, X is 10, L is 50, C is 100, D is 500, and M is 1000. Those are the basic ones we need to know and all the ones we need to know for this problem. Alright, so now we can solve this. So we first need to break up this number into its individual place values. So that's 500, 40, and 6. Now we find what each of these are in Roman numerals. So 500 in Roman numerals. We know that D is just 500, so D. Next, 40 in Roman numerals. So you might be thinking that 40 is just 4 x's. But in Roman numerals, we have a rule for 4s and 9s. So in this case, when you have a 4 or a 9, instead of writing it as 4 of a number or 5 and 4 of a number, you would just write it as 1 before the next number. So what that means is 4 would be written as IV instead of I. And same thing for 9. It would be written as IX instead of VIII. Alright, so we can do the same thing for 40. So instead of writing it as 4 tens, we can write it as 1 10 before 50, which is X before L. So XL. Next, 6. So that's just 5 and 1, which is V and I. Alright, now we just have to combine all these. So that's D, X, L, V, I. And that's your answer. Next, 42 base 10 is equal to what base 6? Alright, so again, I have a full video on this, which will be pinned in the card at the top, but let's continue with this problem. So to find bases like this, right, when converting from base 10 to base of any number, all you have to do is you have to know the power. So for powers of 6, so 6 power 0 is just 1, because any number to the power of 0 is 1. 6 power 1 is just 6, because any number to the power of 1 is just itself. Then 6 squared is 36, and 6 cubed is 216. But we don't need to know that because we're just looking for the ones that are smaller than this number right here, which is 42. So only 36, 6, and 1 are smaller than 42. So those are the ones we need. So now we take 42, and we see how much times does 36 go into 42? 36 goes into 42 one time, because 36 times 1 is 36. So we subtract 36, and we're left with 6. And then we write a 1 here. Next, how much times does 6 go into 6? It goes in once, obviously. So we just write a 1 here and subtract 6. And now we're left with 0. 1 can't go into 0 any amount of times, so we write a 0 here. So we're left with 1, 1, 0, or 110. And that's your answer. Next, find the median of the data given in the stem and leaf plot. Alright, so this is very simple. So the median is just the middle value in the set. So all we have to do is write this in order and then find the middle value. So let's do that. So 17, 17, 18, 22, 26, 27, 29, 33, 34, 35, 41, and 41. Alright, so we're looking for the middle term. So first we need to know how much total terms are there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, so there's 12 terms. So if there's an odd amount of terms, we can just find the number in the middle, and that's our median. However, in this case, we have an even amount of terms. So what do? Well, we find the two numbers in the middle, and then we just find the average of them, or the number in between those two numbers. So in this case, that's 27 and 29. So now, using that, we just find the number that's between 27 and 29, which is 28, and that's your answer. Next, what is the perimeter of an equilateral triangle with a side length of 3p plus 2? Alright, so since this is an equilateral triangle, instead of adding up each of the individual side lengths, we can just multiply it by 3 sides, because it's an equilateral triangle, meaning each of the 3 sides are equal. So that's just 3 times 3p plus 2 to find the perimeter. So we just multiply 3 into each of these, which is 3 times 3p, that's 9p, and then 3 times 2, which is 6, so 9p plus 6, and that's your answer. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to show your support. These videos take a lot of effort to make, and I would really appreciate it.